If I took over your YouTube channel for the next 90 days, full control and visibility of what's going on, here's exactly what I do to take it from a burning pit of money to a sales asset that brings 10 to 30 high-paid leads on sales tools with money to spend who want to buy what you sell. I'm talking having full control over the content strategy, scripting, ideation, thumbnails, posting body, literally the whole 9 yards. This is a woo-woo strategy. This is what worked across our clients like Cameron, Harry, Mud Reveal, and even scale my own agency to multi-six figures. So if you're serious about figuring out why your YouTube channel is a shit show, but 0 calls and never bring to a single sale, so I'm going to be auditing live the YouTube channel, which doesn't book many calls for business owner doing over 50K a month, and what he exactly needs to do to get to our next level, where he's booking 5, 10, 30, even 5, 10, 20, even 30 sales calls a month with his YouTube channel. So I'm going to share my screen, run through exactly what I do differently, what he's doing wrong, and how he can optimize things. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Right, so the context, this guy's name is David Baker. So he runs a trades consulting business. He basically helps trades, business owners, people that do like concrete, plumbing, building. He helps them scale. So he consults them on what they need to do specifically to scale. He's got a lot of traffic coming from Instagram to Facebook, but as YouTube, like he's not really booking many calls from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down everything he needs to do different. Okay, so contacts, just going to note down trades, niche offer, helps trades, people scale, basically that's consult. All right, now what we need to do first, establish his YouTube strategy. Okay, all right, we're going to establish his YouTube channel. First off, I want to look at what he's currently posting. So recent videos, how to price PFGs properly, where builders get robbed, where 10K actually disappears, why traders get stuck and how to fix it, stop losing pounds on slow tenders. What I'm thinking here, first off, is the content is just way too generic and broad. Like this one is better, how to price PFGs properly, this is good. Okay, he's talking about a specific pain point and a specific person. Whereas something like where 10K actually disappears, what does that, is it 10K disappearing in gambling, business, boost specifically? And why should I as a trade business owner click on this video? First up, I would say we need to really refine in the targeting and the messaging. Like stop losing count on slow tenders. Okay, that's a bit better. Or something like where 10K actually disappears doesn't fall to an ICP at all. When you post a video, you need to make the thumbnail titles to make sure when someone's scrolling on YouTube, they know exactly what the video is about before they even decide to click onto it. You need to be able to tell people what it's about within 3 seconds. This, I don't even know what it's about. Why should I, as a business owner, target people doing, multi-six figures a year, people that are making good money? Why would they spend time out of the day to just click on a random video, a guy they've never seen before, on a topic they don't even know what it's about? Okay, no, please do a minute contact. None of your ICB. So you really need to dial in the specific messaging in the packaging as a first. Now, in terms of what I would do in terms of the YouTube strategy and the different types of content he needs to do, is first up we need to implement the different content types. So we've got top funnel content, we've got middle funnel content, and then we've got bottom of funnel content. Each will obviously play a process part in the sales process. So this is going to bring in the views and the traffic, new viewers. And you've got middle funnel content. This is just educating people on how certain things work, how you do things within your company, how you do certain deliverables, how you get results, and kind of just changing the beliefs of the viewers to make them nurtured and build trust around the brand. Okay, I know David is good because I've seen 5 videos of it breaking down how he gets results or how he does a certain event. Then we've got bottom of funnel content, which similar to middle funnel, but more so just goes over the results you've got for people and how we've done it. And also client interviews with clients, like one-on-one calls, just showing like this is the product and this is the people we've worked with, and with 2 strong CTAs. So these are more so focused on helping to convert as much people as possible from people that have seen the other content before. Okay, now in terms of what we would do for top funnel content is, and middle funnel is, we want to research outliers. Okay, research outliers. What I'm going to do is literally come up with a few ideas off the cuff on this video. There's a few different ways you can come up with ideas. So researching outliers is basically look at different niches, see what's working really well for them. How can you model that in your niche? You could look at an e-commerce niche, or you could look at agency consulting, then take those ideas that are performing in those niches into your own. Good way to do that is just look at competitors. Not really a competitor, but just someone in another niche who's crushing it. For example, I would look at an agency. So Jordan Platinum, for example, sells an agency program, consulting people on how to scale the agency business. Okay, what we want to do is we download a software called VidIQ, and we want to look for which videos for higher than average. The way you do that to find outliers is looking at the outlier score. So if you look at these videos, haven't performed in terms of like his average is like a few K views. This 63K views. So it's performed almost 6x better than his typical video. What we want to do is we want to take this, boom, Obviously, there's a lot more detail you can go into when you do this for yourself. As this is a 10-20 minute video, you can't go in as much specific detail. What we want to do is we want to paste that to here, and we're going to look at, okay, this video is about pretty boring and AI systems, about sell for okay right now. Okay? How can you model that into his niche? So he helps trades businesses scale. Okay? What we could do is change this to X boring plummet offers. I sell at 80% plus. So he could do a video breaking down an idea, show an idea, go yourself, form, got boring, X boring on an idea, plumbing offers, that sounds 80% margins. Okay? This would be a offer breakdown video, how to structure plumbing offers, how to increase plumbing offers profitability. So this would be a breakdown of different offers plumbers can write and then trades. This could be for literally any trades. So he could change it to construction offers. Okay? F4 construction offers. Another step we could do before we go to the actual video is actually refine the wording to make it more relevant to the. Another step I would actually take with a bit more research would be to refine the wording to make it more relevant to ICP, because not 100% sure in the construction space if they would use the word phrase offers. So there could be another word they'd use, for example, quotes. They don't use, for example, in 80s space, we might use a word quotes in the construction space, but it's saying words. Okay, do you want to change your wording to make it more relevant to the ICP? But essentially what this video would be, for example, if you were to implement this idea, would be one, breaking down what different types of offers construction companies or plumbing businesses could run. So this is the offer you would push in your ads, stuff like that. And then how to structure an offer. This is what the deliverables could be. And then how you need to structure it correctly based on his experience to actually increase the profitability. Because a main pain points of brick and mortar like construction companies and trades is the profitability shit. They consider 10 to 20% being a good margin, which in the info space or the online space, if you were to do margins like that, absolutely terrible. So he would go over how you can structure things properly in terms of these different offers to become profitable. Okay, that's one of the ideas. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, shit, this is value, and you'd like me and my team to either come into your YouTube channel, start and scale it from scratch, or scale it up to the point where you're booking 5 to 30 piping hot sales rules a month. But just head to the first link in the description, book in a call, and I'll run through exactly how our YouTube model works. Now let's get back to the video. Now another way we could come up with ideas is through YouTube keyword research. What you want to do is you basically want to go to your toolbar vidIQ and want to figure out what are my ICP searching for in terms of keywords and how can I rank for it. A good way to do this is just search up keywords and phrases you think your ICP would be searching for. For example, how to scale a trades business, okay? You want to go to research and search out, scale trades business, well, not much search. Changes to remove that, scale, production business, one. And we want to look for keywords which are getting a good amount of traction, which are obviously relevant to our ICP. So I'm going to quickly scroll through here, how to grow construction business. Boom. Okay. This is a good keyword. Now, what you want to do is you don't just want to take a keyword that has good traffic, okay? And note that down. And just because it's got good traffic doesn't mean we can rank for it. We've got that, 6,000 steps a month. You first want to validate the keyword. So can we actually rank for it in the first place? And what's from competition look like? vidIQ gives you a score, but it doesn't really matter. Bullshit, right? You want to go to YouTube, you want to search up the keyword, how to grow construction business, okay? Then what you want to do, because the main way to rank for a keyword is literally including the keyword in the title. What you want to do is click on the 3 dots, go to find and edit, copy it in, and look, okay, are people ranking for a specific keyword? We've got one guy ranking here. Video was posted 2 years ago. Found that was absolutely bullshit. And he looks a bit corporate. I think we can do better. Let's quickly looking at that. So I want to copy this in. You want to see, is there many other people ranking for a keyword? So far, there's like 1 or 2, which the videos are old and we can definitely do better. So that's got 6K steps a month, which is good. We want to rank for the keyword. I mean, for make things. So the priority is how can we rank for it? You do it by optimizing the title, then the description in the video, and a few other levers which we would pull for you if you were working with us watching this video. And then a good tip for actually creating the video is looking at the videos and seeing how can we improve. Okay, so you want watching a video, what's lacking in the hook, what's lacking in the value, is this as valuable as it could be? Okay, secondly, you want to look for a comment. So what questions are people asking to see if there's any questions? Then you look at these questions. So are these questions, can we answer these questions in our videos? Right now there's not a lot of questions here, but if there were hypothetically questions, you would want to look at, okay, this video is ranking right? It's got loads of different questions in the comments that the video maybe didn't answer. Then you would come in and make a video better than the videos that's already ranking. Or secondly, answer the questions which were unanswered in the other videos that ranked. So that way you're automatically better. So that being the second idea, so how to broker structure business to XM a year. So you want to have a keyword and then you want to add on to it. Okay. Then we could add some social proof after scaling to XM a year. So book how to broker structure business to XM a year. Just have that there to qualify. So if you only want to work people doing $1 million a year, you would add up 5 million a year. So that way, you're not random people clicking onto a video. And then just an attribute social proof just to show you that you are credible. So after scaling to X million a year. The reason we want to do keyword videos is because not only am I just really good for traffic, some people searching it up, but the intent of people searching it up are much higher than just someone who's scrolling. Someone will see this, they'll watch a video, solve a problem for it, and then they'll look in a call. Another level you could pull with SEO rank videos would be to have a CTA in the description to a heat magnet that's relevant to the keyword. Because again, not everyone's going to be ready to buy or ready to book to the call after the first video they watch. So give away something free, they have to fill that out, get the email, the phone number, and you can then research them up. So in terms of top of funnel content ideas, you've got 2 there. You post about 2 to 3x of these a month, more so close on a 2 a month, so you can keep a lot of room for other ones as well. Then for middle funnel content, what we want to do is again model outliers, or we want to go over pain points and specific problems his ICP has that he solves. So for example, a good format could be, did you go over the problems the account face? For example, why your trades business is stuck at XM a year down to fix. Cool. To read a new video breaking down the pain points, the problems they face. Do you want to go over problems? Explain it better than that. Do a short order. Do order. So you want to literally break down the problems they're facing better than they understand it themselves. So make it so you don't go, shit, this guy's been where I am. I can trust it. Okay. Then you want to give solution away. So read, break down. Okay, you've got this problem, which is X, Y, Z. Did I get enough leads? This is a solution. Whatever away the solution. And that's one of the ideas. All right, so now that we've given away the solution and built trust around his offer and people know he knows what he's talking about, a second video, which I recommend literally every single one of our clients implements, and we get all of them to implement it, which is an objection busting video. A video like this is basically where you will compile the most common objections you get on sales calls and make a video which indirectly parries them and reframes. So for example, a title for this would be, want to scale your trades business to XM is the truth you'll hate. Then in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to get to the last 10 to 20 sales calls transcripts. Then we go to figure out what they are. So if, for example, the most common sales objections are, I don't believe I need marketing. I don't think my buyers on Facebook ads who make one of those parts of the videos and let the objection. Okay, why it's false. So first off, pull it out, why it's false, and the data / proof to back it. Okay, so if you're having lots of people on sales say, oh, I don't think I should invest into consulting because I don't think we need marketing. For example, let's say the main thing is helping people get more clients, win more products. We would break down in a video why Facebook ads is literally the best channel you can use and why it's false ads, not where your customers are. And then you back that up with data. For example, I'd literally use Facebook ads to sign quotes that are worth over $1 billion. And simply because the reason why you don't fit in blocks, because you haven't tried it properly. You've used the shitty agency, XYZ. So you'd handle that objection in the video. So that'd be one of the middle of funnel content types. Then for me, bottom of funnel is one-on-one client interviews. So if you look on my channel, I'll pop up on screen is we literally have client interviews with clients where we basically call on call and go through where they were before. So she would need to, in the video, break down where the client was before. So before and after. So this is where you were before, this is where you are now after working with us. And then you also break down what it was like to work with you. So these are the things to be implemented. How did you find it? How was the communication? How was the delivery? All of that. And on the third part of the video, you want to go over some of the core objections and handle the things that keep people on the fence. So you just ask a question like that for someone who wants to work with us but isn't 100% sure, or would you tell her? Then the client go over the fears they faced or well with you and why they took action and why the viewers should take action. So that's one of the content types. So being a client, second format, which I'd recommend anyone implement, would be case study breakouts. So I'll pop one up on the screen. This is introduced a video on you breaking down how you've gotten a result for clients. So not like a client interview where you ask them about their experience. This is where you go over the steps you took to get a result. So you show the ads to this, you show the landing page, you show what offer you created for it. You break down every single step we took, why we took it, and how it got the result. And thirdly, another type would be in-person breakdowns. So in-person breakdowns / live. Something similar to this video where you kind of get a tease of what it would be like to work together, but you in person with a client breaking down the results. So if you look at, for example, our client Cabernet Goods, we did a video where he literally sat in a studio with clients and broke down their business and broke down how he would implement AI for that live. So if you look at this video here, literally breaking down business, all sorts of whiteboard. So what he would do, David, for example, he would break down business. This is your trades business right now. This is what you need to do to get to the next level. So you give away the steps on video for free, and also shows you a crowd. Okay, you're sitting there with another trades business in person, breaking down their business, showing them what they need to do. No one can replicate that. Anyone can sit behind the camera and just film a video with a Google Doc and they're right out. But if you're filming with a client in person or potential client, it just builds massive credibility. So what I would do in terms of that is do one of those a month, so 1x a month, and then also for middle of funnel, you want to do 1 to 2x a month. Okay. I'd lead towards more so 2x. We could do 5 videos a month. I'd say sweet spot would be anywhere from 4 to 6 a month in terms of the YouTube strategy, in terms of what you need to post and the ideas. Then what we need to do is I'm going to audit the thumbnails on his channel. So let's go back to his channel, because it's one thing having a darling YouTube strategy and none with posting and having really good ideas. But if your thumbnails and packaging are shit, then no one's going to click on the video in the first place. So fuck everything else. You need to fix this first. Looking at the videos, could be look, goes channel. Okay, first off, we just need to refine things. Like where take action displays way too broad. Way too broad. No one understands what it means, okay? So way too broad, target pain points and goals, okay? He needs to start targeting specific pain points and goals. This is better. Why traders get stuck at how to fix it, okay? Versus this, by you losing an extra 10% profit on every project would be way better at where 10K actually disappears, okay? Why you're losing an extra 10 to 20% on every project as a trader and how to fix it. But super specific pain points, and it shows the end outcome people are going to get from watching the video. Whenever you make a thumbnail, specifically something where you're going to sell something to people and there's an end result in mind, you always need to have an end result in the thumbnail, okay? You need to think, okay, if someone's looking at this video, do they know what they're going to get by the end of it? If it says, why are you leaving 10% extra profit on every project and how to fix it as a trader, that's just way more consistent. It's way more granular, and people know, if I click on this video, I'm going to get this end result, okay? Also, definitely need to invest into a pro thumbnail design or something like this. Super messy. It doesn't catch anyone's eye. You're competing with thumbnails like this. If you go to the YouTube homepage, you've got other videos popping up. Lamborghinis, high close 40 to 80K deals. You know, there's so much crazy shit going on. Bombs going on fitness, crazy colors. Okay, you really need to dial in, be coloring, and be structuring. What I would do is I'll actually look up thumbnail on screen, which we would do for, because it's kind of hard to put things into words. Go pop up a screenshot of the thumbnail we literally make for one of these videos exactly. And I'll point out the different things we've changed and why we changed it. Okay? You just really need to dial that in. Invest heavily into thumbnails or titles, because if you're not getting a click, no one's watching the video. Forget about editing the video and the actual production side. Focus more so on thumbnail time first, and then focus on the next step. So no one's clicking, you're never going to get any traffic, and you're never going to book any calls. Okay? Now, for the actual YouTube channel, because you need to think of the YouTube channel as a landing page. Looking at it right now, it's not really structured properly. And we've seen so many clients just book loads of calls just of people looking at my YouTube channel, go to the links and booking in a call. What we need to optimize first off, banner links work. It's just way too messy. We just need a plain piece of text. For example, a good reference would be someone like Cameron, which is one of our clients. Boom. Mention what you do, so your offer, and then interaction. So here it could be, I help trades business scale to $1 million a year with over X% profit margins. If you want to do a set, book a call with a link below. Then you'd have to see tier to that. Remember the description on the channel. Is this is good? Found off free trader businesses. What I would do is, instead in the first line, is call out the problem and the solution giveaway to people. So I help trades businesses do X, Y, Z. So some would be, I help trades businesses install proven revenue generated systems I've used across my 5 trades businesses, 3 trades businesses that I've generated over $1 million a year in revenue. Okay, and then you have another CTA. One of my help program trades business. This is good, and then boom, work with me. Click the first link below. That's good. We just need to optimize the CTA, because at the end of the day, not everyone's going to click on it first. Whereas if you have a small piece of text here saying, I help trade businesses scale by installing proven revenue systems, I've scaled my companies to XYZ, much more likely to book more trust. Then we want to implement what's called a YouTube playlist file. First off, the first video here needs to be a high converting video. So historically, which videos I've converted the most to channel, we want to replace it about here. because everyone's going to see this video first. So you want to make sure that it's converting one, and it's going to just help increase conversions overall. Then for the playlist is we need one playlist here, which just talks to ICP. For example, watch this. If you want to scale your trades business to $1 million a year with over 30% profits, where you just have the most valuable videos versus just having it saying videos doesn't catch anyone's eye. Then I'd remove the YouTube shorts and replace it with case studies and results. Okay, so for example, you would just have a playlist called, it would just be trades business results, X million generated. So you have a bunch of different case studies of your businesses. So you could do a video breaking down how you scaled your own one, and some of the other videos breaking down how you scaled the other businesses. So you want to have those two playlists there, so that whenever someone lands on a channel, they know what you do, they have a clear call to action where they can get help from you, and they've seen all of your results. So they've built all of that trust within a few seconds, just scrolling through it. So the main recaps at what needs to be done is one, implement more top of funnel content, which is one, just modeling outlines so possible for other people in the past. And then secondly is we want to have an SEO ranked YouTube video. So for example, how to grow up and structure business to X million a year, rank you for a keyword and provide as much value as possible. Then you want middle funnel content, 1 to 2 of these a month, which just go for problems and goals your ICP have, how you've helped them in the past, and how you will help them in the future. And also an objection handling video, which breaks down your most common objections you have in Salesforce, which you will then make for video and handling these, which you can send these out to prospects, number one, before a sales call. Also, anyone who's watching your YouTube channel will see those or show up all the objections in the call, and they're more likely to book a call in the first place because you've handled their best beliefs and objections. Then bottom of funnel, you want to implement one of these, client interviews or case study breakdown, or even a new person breakdown. We could do a variety of these, test what works best. For the thumbnails and packaging, really need to dial in the positioning and the best fit. We want it to be super grappling. This is the problem the video solves. This is with a person we want to watch it, and this is what you're going to get by the end of watching the video. Then thirdly, optimize the thumbnails, hire designer, pop up an example on screen, and then for the YouTube channel, you just need to implement the banner. So optimize that, proceed to edit, like the reference I showed you, optimize the YouTube description, and then implement the YouTube values funnel so that whenever someone lands on the channel, they'll go from not knowing who you are, not knowing your result, not knowing your offer, to within a few seconds learn exactly what you do and the people you've helped in the past. That's how I turn around the YouTube channel to a point where it's booking 5 to 30 sales calls a month. Now, just a disclaimer, there's obviously a lot more that we'd go into for an actual client, but I can't give away all of my source on YouTube and just create a bunch of different competitor agencies which can receive it and copy what we're doing for our clients. So that's just like 30 to 40% of what we'd actually implement. Now, and with that said, if you're watching this as a business owner and you'd actually like to implement our own YouTube system into your business, where we'll come in and do literally everything on a completely done for you basis, strategy, scripting, editing, posting, the whole 9 yards, go to the first link in the description, book in a call, you'll talk with me. Not outsourcing this to a closer. This you talk with me, we'll go through what you're currently doing on YouTube, why is it working, and what we will implement for when you step. With that said, book a call, first link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.